Your mouth is not on fire. Nothing in there is burning. The pepper is room temperature, completely fine. But your brain has absolutely no idea, because a chemical in that pepper just pulled the exact same alarm your body uses to detect actual flames. Same receptor, same signal. Your brain called fire, deployed the cooling systems, triggered the sweating, ran the whole emergency response for a threat that does not exist. And here is the part that should actually change how you look at that pepper on your plate. Pepper spray, the stuff police use to stop crowds, is the exact same molecule as your jalapeno, just dramatically concentrated and sealed into a canister. Same compound, same receptor, same mechanism. We are just talking about scale. The alarm in your mouth. Your mouth is packed with nerve endings. Thousands of them, all over the surface of your tongue, cheeks, and throat. Their job is to report back to your brain constantly. Temperature, pressure, pain, texture. Every sensation you feel in your mouth starts with those nerve endings sending a signal. One specific type exists entirely to detect dangerous heat. When something in your mouth hits around 43 degrees Celsius, roughly the point at which tissue actually starts to get damaged, that receptor fires. It sends an urgent signal straight to your brain. The message is simple. Something is burning you. This is an emergency. Get it out, now. Your brain has no reason to question this message at all. It has been receiving it reliably for millions of years. Every single time it fires, something actually hot was present. It has never once been wrong before. Then the pepper showed up. That receptor is called TRPV1. Think of it as a switch. Normally, it only flips when something is actually hot, at a temperature that could cause real tissue damage. When capsaicin, the active molecule in chili peppers, enters the picture, it fits into that receptor like a key into a lock. The switch flips. Same signal fires as if you had touched something burning. Your brain receives the exact same burn warning it would get from a hot pan. There is no secondary system that checks the actual temperature. There is no override, just the alarm going off, your brain believing it completely, and your cooling systems activating in response to a threat that does not exist. The sweating, the runny nose, the watery eyes, the flushed skin. Those are all your body's actual cooling systems, activating in real time. Your brain thinks your mouth is overheating, so it deploys everything it has. Sweat to cool the skin. Mucus to flush the nasal passages. Increased blood flow to the face. A full emergency response, running at full capacity, for a pepper that was sitting on your kitchen counter 10 minutes ago. All of that drama from one molecule smaller than a grain of sand. In 1912, an American pharmacist named Wilbur Scoville invented a way to measure exactly how much capsaicin a pepper contains. He dissolved peppers in alcohol, then diluted the extract in sugar water until human tasters could no longer detect the heat. The more dilution required, the higher the score. He called the units Scoville Heat Units, or SHU. A bell pepper sits at 0. 0 capsaicin, 0 alarm. A jalapeno hits around 8,000. A habanero reaches 350,000. A ghost pepper crosses 1 million. The Carolina Reaper averages around 1.6 to 2.2 million SHU. To put that in perspective, a habanero is 40 times hotter than a jalapeno. The Carolina Reaper is 40 times hotter than a habanero. And the pepper spray we mentioned at the top starts at 2 million SHU and can reach 5 million. That is the scale of what capsaicin is capable of. Why the pepper did this? Chili peppers originated in Central and South America, primarily in what is now Mexico and Bolivia. Humans have been cultivating them for around 6,000 years. The archaeological evidence comes from seeds and starch grains found on grinding stones and cooking pots across Mexico and Ecuador. People were cooking with peppers long before they had a written language, before they had metal tools. These were among the first crops deliberately cultivated in the Americas. When Columbus arrived in 1492, he found them everywhere. He mistakenly called them peppers because they tasted hot like black pepper, the spice he had been searching for, and brought them back to Europe. Before 1493, there were no chili peppers in Asia, Africa, or Europe. None at all. All of it exists because Columbus made a wrong turn and came home with the wrong spice. 6,000 years inside the Americas, the fastest culinary takeover in recorded history. The pepper did not develop capsaicin by accident. It is a targeted defense. Mammals crush seeds when they eat. Crushed seeds cannot grow. Birds, on the other hand, swallow fruit whole, pass seeds through their digestive system intact, fly somewhere new, and deposit them with a small fertilizer bonus. Perfect. So over millions of years, peppers that produced capsaicin survived better than those that did not, because the capsaicin kept seed-destroying mammals away. Birds have a different version of that receptor. A bird can eat a ghost pepper like it is a blueberry and fly off without a second thought. A mammal eating the same pepper will be reconsidering its decisions for the next 20 minutes. The pepper solved its problem with extraordinary precision. One chemical, one receptor, one specific group of animals that crush seeds. Every mammal on Earth that encounters it is affected. Every bird is completely fine, and always has been. And then one specific mammal showed up, tasted it, decided it was delicious, and spent the next 6,000 years cultivating more of it, while the bird sat in the tree above them, completely unbothered, eating the same fruit for free. Why do the hottest cuisines in the world come from the hottest climates on Earth? Mexico, India, Nigeria, Thailand. All of them run hot on the Scoville scale and hot on the thermometer. There is a very direct reason for that. The popular theory is that capsaicin makes you sweat, and sweat cools you down. That part is true. Eating spicy food in warm weather can actually lower your body temperature as the sweat evaporates. Because remember, capsaicin triggers the same cooling systems as real heat. But sweating only effectively cools you in dry climates, where the sweat can actually evaporate. In humid climates, it barely helps. Cornell University researchers analyzed spice use across 36 countries, looking for a better explanation. What they found had nothing to do with sweating at all. Capsaicin is powerfully antimicrobial. In high enough concentrations, it kills bacteria. In hot climates before refrigeration, food spoiled fast, and foodborne illness was a regular and serious threat. The cultures that cooked with chili peppers were preserving their food, protecting themselves from the bacteria that could, and regularly did, kill them. The spice was, functionally, medicine that also tasted good. That pattern became a deeply embedded tradition across generations. Tradition became cuisine. And now it is just how the food has always tasted, passed down through every family recipe and street stall in those cultures, long after the original practical reason became history. Milk, water, and why people love it. About that glass of water, the burn is happening, and every instinct says reach for it. Wrong move! Here is the problem. Capsaicin is fat-soluble. It does not dissolve in water. When you pour water over it, the molecules do not go anywhere useful. They get pushed around the surface of your mouth, spread to new areas, touch new receptors. The burn is now wider than it was before you drank. Congratulations, you have made it worse. Milk works because it contains a protein called casein. Casein is specifically built to bind to fat-soluble molecules and drag them away from surfaces. It grabs the capsaicin, pulls it off the receptor, and clears it. The cause of the burn is physically removed. That is why the relief feels immediate. Ice cream does the same thing, which is why some spicy restaurants put a scoop of vanilla on the table. That scoop of vanilla is a casein delivery system in a waffle cone. Yogurt works, butter works, anything fatty or dairy-based. Water, actively counterproductive. The people reaching for the water glass at the spicy restaurant are spreading it in real time and do not know it. So why do people love this? If capsaicin is technically setting off your pain response, what is enjoyable about that? When the burn signal fires, your brain takes it seriously. One of the things it does in response to pain is release endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. The same chemicals your body releases during exercise or real excitement. When the burn hits and the endorphins follow, the result can feel less like pain and more like a rush. Your brain is managing an emergency that does not exist, and in doing so, it accidentally creates something that some people actively seek out. Researchers call this benign masochism, enjoying a negative sensation when you know you are actually safe. The same principle as a horror film, where your brain generates genuine fear for a story it knows is fiction. Or a roller coaster, where every survival instinct fires for a ride that will not hurt you. The gap between the alarm and the safety is where the enjoyment lives. And somewhere in that gap is why people build dedicated hot sauce collections, enter chili eating competitions they are nowhere near ready for, and voluntarily order the ghost pepper wings from a menu that politely tells them to please sign a waiver first. A plant in central Mexico evolved a chemical 6,000 years ago, specifically to stop mammals from eating its seeds. It works on every mammal that encounters it, without exception. Except humans, who found the liver, liked it, pulled it repeatedly, built 6,000 years of cuisine around it, spread it across the entire planet within a century, concentrated the molecule into a crowd control weapon with a Scoville rating that starts at 2 million, and are currently competing to engineer a pepper that hits 3 million SHU. The plant that wanted to keep us out of its fruit is now one of the most cultivated crops on Earth. The chemical it developed to deter us is now in every supermarket in the world. And your TRPV1 receptor still does not know any of this. It fires every single time. Same alarm, no context, no updates. It has been doing this for 6,000 years, and will keep doing it for as long as there are humans and peppers in the same room. If this one lit you up a little, give it a like and subscribe to Fact Found TV. We cover the full story and science behind one everyday thing every single week without fail. Drop a comment below and tell us what you want us to cover next time. We read all of them.